So the media, this is on Daily Wire, and this is Matt Walsh being a little sarcastic, but he's right. The media nominates their new George Floyd. Last year, a man in his mid-20s named Dexter Reed was charged with 3 counts of aggravated unlawful use of a weapon and 1 count of possession of a firearm with a revoked firearms owner's identification card, quote unquote, which is required in the state of Illinois before you can possess a weapon or ammunition. Because no one really spends time in jail, he says sarcastically, in Illinois anymore. Reed was free on pretrial release for these felony charges as recently as this past March. It goes without saying that at that point, any functioning member of society who somehow found himself charged with these crimes would try to lay low for a bit. Maybe they'd keep their illegal guns at home, for example. But Dexter Reed did not choose that approach because he's not a functioning member of society. Instead, in March, Reed went for a drive in an SUV wearing a ski mask and carrying a firearm. That's when police say they noticed that Reed was breaking yet another law. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Instead of cooperating with the traffic stop, this is what happened. And he shows the video. For those of you that haven't seen the video, they pull the gentleman, the young man over. He has the face mask on. It's kind of pulled down. They ask him to get out. He doesn't comply. He goes on to say it's clear from this footage that Dexter Reed is wearing a ski mask and he's not cooperating with the officers. They tell him to unlock the door, stop rolling up the windows, and he refuses for quite some time. Then the officer sees something that clearly puts them in fear of their life. They back up, and shots began ringing out. And it was a lot of shots, guys. I just saw this video last night. One officer is hit in the wrist, and he survives. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Alderman Brian Hopkins, chairman of the City Council's Public Safety Committee, said he's been told 26-year-old Reed fired 11 shots through his car window in what Hopkins called an attempt to kill police officers. An empty gun was recovered at the scene. Hopkins said he fired 11 rounds at these police officers before he was eventually killed. As of now, police are still investigating the shooting, but Chicago's Civilian Office of Police Accountability has determined that the evidence, quote, appears to confirm, close quote, that Reed fired the first shot, and the video by itself shows that pretty clearly. So this is an election year. We've had Trayvon Martin. We've had, Michael Brown. Who else? Freddie Gray. So every election cycle, they are going to try and find cases like this to obviously demonize police officers and glorify black criminals. And I'm tired of black criminals being compared to black productive citizens in society. I'm so sick and tired of it. All right. And it's sad because when people buy into these arguments, that's exactly what's happening. But this is the extreme of the left. This is who we're dealing with. I just want to make the case that they're the extremists. They will use race. They will use any issue they can demagogue against the right. They will absolutely do it.